Hello everyone, my name is Master of Rawfulness and welcome to Grand Ages Medieval. This is a strategy game that allows you to take one settlement and develop it into an empire by conquering and trading with your enemies. Now this is currently a preview build, which means what you're seeing right now is still work in progress and there's still going to be probably some bugs that need fixing here and there that you're going to see, but pretty much the game runs very well and it's very gorgeous, as you can tell by this main menu over here. Now, let's get into the game. We have two modes. We have campaign and open game. Now, campaign is pretty much a giant tutorial that will launch you into the open game anyway with your starting tutorial city. Whereas open game allows you to start from scratch. We're going to be playing on open game because campaign is a little bit dull. It's a little bit too hand-holdy, which makes sense because the game has a lot of stuff that you have to learn about and stuff like that. Anyway, so we're playing with the God Emperor of Mankind. Sadly, I cannot fit words past I think of, so that's a little bit disappointing, but let me just capitalize the G and the E at least. Our shield is a castle with a skull and a dagger, I guess, or a really small sword. Shield color is black because black is cool, and yeah, everything looks pretty darn awesome. We have a little nice aesthetic going on. So then the game is divided between different game worlds. We have Black Sea, Middle, Europe, Hansa, Mediterranean Sea, East. This also determines how many competitors you can have in your game. We're going to be playing with Europe because I just want to paint the entire continent with my colors. And we're going to have 8 competitors, which is pretty nice. We'll also be playing on the Byzantium region, because I believe that's where the God Emperor starts off. Lore wise, basically starting funds just is kind of like the same thing that you're kind of used to. You know, you get your starting resources and that's pretty much about it. You could also determine if you want an extra settler as well, but I'm not going to do that. Equal, normal, everything looks pretty good. You do want to worry about your starting regions because different regions will allow you to build different units. So for example, in the Byzantium region I can build the crossbowmen, but in the I think, what is that region called? Exactly. Is it just Britannia? Yeah, Britannia. In the Britannia region, you can only build longbowmen. So that's something to keep in mind. Anyway, let's start up with the Bursa starting town, because I don't want to start with Greece, as you could possibly start with Greece, and you already start with Greece in the tutorial, so I don't really want to do that. It's a little bit too boring. Alright. Let's begin. Like, I want variety, so to speak. Alright, skip, because I already know how to move the camera, and let me change this to Holy Terra. There we go. Alright, so basically this game is less about combat and more about trading and selling your goods. We have lumber, clay, or bricks in this case. We have a grain farm, we have a fruit farm, and a beekeeper. And pretty much what we could do is trade these resources to different cities, and then they can trade us their resources, and we get gold from this. Or we could trade it to cities that we control and we get gold from it, and we also produce resources. So for example, if we have coal and we have metal, we can produce metal wares, which is pretty dope. And, you know, different resources have different prices attached to their name. So we already have lumber because of our lumberjack over here, so that means lumber isn't that rare, so the price is relatively low compared to something like, I don't know, meat, which is 600 because we have no meat. Alright, so let's see. Currently I do want a trader. Very important to get a trader so that you can trade with different cities. That costs 400 smuckaroos, but that's okay. Currently we have 12 wood and 24 bricks. So ultimately we're not going to be doing much in terms of building up these little areas over here. You don't want to build too fast because once you're done building you still have to wait for workers, which is a little bit of a bitch. Anyway, let's take our scout and move him. Oh, hold on. This is development. You can research tech. And this allows you to pretty much get some really neat stuff. So right now, we have a beekeeper, which gives us honey. And we have grains. What can we build from this? We can get pastries. So let's go ahead and get this. And we might as well triple our honey production. And become the honey gods of Byzantium. This is our Empire tab, shows us our balance, predictions as well. Pretty good to see where you're going. Essentially, I am doing nothing at all in 20 years, which is not exactly kosher. This will also give us an overview of our towns as well as our titles, competitors. So we have a bunch of people, some fish loser, and then we have Jesus. We are fighting against Jesus. I knew this day would come. We also have diplomacy trees and stuff. Well, not a diplomacy tree, but like a diplomacy like chart or whatever. And then we have regions. So over here in the region of Russia, you can get the Hussar, and then you can get longbowmen in the Caucasus as well. So I guess I was a big liar there. You can get longbowmen in different regions. Flailsmen in Arabia, sabers, fighter in North Africa, knight in France. Spain has a pikeman, flailsmen also in Germany. Yeah, they're not really that unique. Longbowmen exist in 2 regions. In fact, maybe even 3. Knights also exist in 2 regions. No, only 2 for the longbowmen. I think Scandinavia has the only true unique unit because berserkers are nowhere to be found, actually. Which is pretty dope. Go Scandinavia, I suppose. Alright. So right now I do want to talk to this city over here so that we can get some trading done. Now, as you can see, we have a couple of things that I have talked about. These are your inhabitants in the town. They grow based on available work and stuff like that, and people flocking over. We have workers, which, you know, grow in size based on the pool of inhabitants you have, based on the buildings that you have at your disposal. Free workers, which are pretty much people doing nothing. And then we have the weekly change in workers. This is a modifier which indicates like soldiers that are in the area and stuff. So basically this tells me that he has a scout. Or she. It is a she, okay. And these indicators also show, like, you know, bad stuff that could be happening to the town, as well as possibly even good stuff. So right now they're missing raw materials. Really bad. It seems like they don't have enough metal, or maybe enough coal, actually. You do need coal for metal wares. So let's see. They have grain, mine, animal, beer place, and then a smithy. So you know what that means? That means we can give these fuckers honey. We can just fill them up with honey. Holy shit, they're gonna be like Winnie the fucking Pooh at this point. It's gonna be wonderful. Also give them pastries and make them fat and glorious. They're gonna give us tons of money for that. Yeah, 134, and then pastries 300. We're gonna be fucking rich. Holy shit.
Is there anything else we need to cover?
So we already have a trade agreement, which is pretty good. So when the time comes to shove, we're gonna fatten her up. Now there are 2 little things you have to worry about. These 2 indicators. So we have one which pretty much gets influenced mostly by good things you do to the city or the empire, but in this case the city. So for example, if I submit an offer, right, a peace agreement, and she accepts it, then she'll feel a little bit more sympathetic towards me, right? And this number modifier will actually increase. If I get it to 80, and then if I get my popularity to I think 90 or 95, I can actually take over the city diplomatically, which is pretty dope. Popularity can be influenced by essentially if she's running low on resource, like let's say for coal, for example, and I give her coal, then she'll love me, or her city will love me. She's more sympathetic towards me if I finish quests and if she accepts offers and stuff like that. Now, obviously, if I claim Izmir, then she's going to get pissed off. Alright, so we're still waiting for that, what was it, that trader. So, let's go ahead and chill. Let's look at that shipwreck right now. You can pretty much zoom in as much as you want. Look at this shit. It's wonderful.
No problem.
Gold doubloons.
No problem.
I love it. There are also natural disasters that could happen, so be wary of that. Also, we could also speed the time.
No problem.
Whoosh. Like that. Oh. We got ourselves a trader. Right over here in our little settlement of Holy Terra. It's beautiful. Look at it. It's the skull as well. Alright, so we can plan a route, which pretty much allows us to click on different cities and then afterwards trade with them. And the trader will automatically give this city resources that it doesn't have, and the trader will come back with resources that we don't have, which is pretty cool. So we can just activate that right now, and everything's pretty much kosher. You can also manually use the trader, but we're not going to do that, mostly because I feel like I would fuck up royally, and I have fucked up royally. So let's see, we only have 17 wood and 34 clay. Not exactly good. So we can't really develop anything right now, which is suckish, I'm not gonna lie. In fact, do we really have anything to trade? We do have honey. Honey's pretty good. At this point, I'm going to go on
And here we go.
you know, auto trade, because you know, I really don't have a lot of resources to trade. I
Get on
can't
with it.
really do something too big. I'm gonna keep my 1 military point. Actually, not my 1 military point. My 1 development point, just in case. Just in safekeeping, because I don't really want to waste it on something stupid. Like I thought I was going to waste it on meat, but I don't have any salt. Could waste it on military, and that's probably a smart idea, as wild armies of
there.
bears are prevalent. Okay. Times 1 is
It's nearby.
okie dokie. Trader is going to move out.
No problem.
Oh,
Good day.
let's see. They
I
want
see
a
that you've
transit
heard that I
agreement.
have
I like it.
Wonderful. This
No problem.
I think our trader forgot to send over resources, which is pretty much a big whatever. We didn't have a lot of resources to trade with anyway. Close to building something,
problem.
which is good. Actually, wait, I should really follow the roads. Eventually, we'll be able to build the roads of our own between different settlements, which is
We're
good.
practically there.
Man, this is a long mountain range, actually. So right now, the trader is currently looking through all this stuff in Izmir. If I wanted to, I can manually choose what I want. But she really doesn't have anything I want, per se. Like, I can buy stuff right now. Just completely empty her out of all of her beer. And furs, but that would waste a lot of resources. You don't really want to sell all of your goods really, really
No
fast.
problem.
You don't really want to buy all the goods really, really fast,
Welcome to
or
my
you're
town.
not really going to get anything. It is not a good idea. You'll look really stupid really fast. Alright, let's get the lumberjack here.
Almost there.
What do you think of this?
And she wants a transit agreement.
No problem.
Alright, so we have a nice little ring around the rosy going on. Let's go ahead and continue trying to find out if we have any random stuff here that we can try to get. These guys are moving really, really fast. I'm going to actually slow down the speed of the game by like 0.5.
No problem.
You might think 1 is normal, but it is not normal. Just like zooming in on these sheep. Beautiful sheep. Sadly, sheep is not a resource. Actually, no, wait. Yes, it is. Represented by wool. So right now we have beer, and then we have some fur coming in.
We're practically there.
So yeah, the game is very
It's
slow
nearby.
paced, so if you have a book to read,
Almost there.
I suggest you read it while we continue trying to find out some random goodies like this thing right
Almost
over
there.
here. 128 beer found in Holy Terror. Profit
Get on with it.
17,000. Ooh, 128. If I wanted to, I don't even have to trade with Izmir anymore. In fact, fuck that trade route. I'm going to deactivate it. And you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll sell the get the stupid fur. But let me sell some of the actually no, wait. I only have 47 of this. 47. Could give 20 of it away to one of these newer peeps over here, but then again I don't have a trade agreement. I only have a transit agreement.
The route
Alright,
is-
activate it again.
No problem.
Eventually I'll expand it so that we trade with these guys.
It's nearby.
Actually, let me look at what Ankara has. I didn't really get a good look of that city. So yeah, he's currently just circle jerking right now. He's going to eventually pick out some fruit, maybe some honey, and then trade it with Izmir.
Almost there.
Again, I could manually change this guy, but I might fuck things up. You see, as you can see, he picked the right amount, which is good.
It's nearby.
To the point where it doesn't like melt away my supply. Because remember, I don't think I talked about this. My bad. Pretty much these green barrels indicate how much of resource you actually have in your your settlement. So if you have 1 barrel, that's pretty bad. You're running low. You don't want to sell that. If you have 2, you're okay, but you could be doing better. If you have 3, then you're pretty much in a good spot. That's actually the best spot you should be in for most of your resources. And if you have for like 4, you should sell. We're not selling the beer yet because that shit goes by really, really fast, and I do want to keep it around for a little bit, just so that my people do get happier because of the consumption of beer. So we do want it around for a little bit longer. But pretty much if you have 4 barrels, 4 green barrels, then you should sell.
We're practically there.
So some of my resources I don't want to sell too much. Alright, so this seems to be an excellent spot for me to kill, actually. We have to take out that fucking bakery. He can't be the bakery gods. I have to be the
Let's
bakery
get on with
god.
it.
So, actually,
Let's get on with it.
this might be a girl.
there anything
Yep, that
else?
is a girl. Okay, I forgot. I thought the genders have switched. I thought this guy was actually a girl and this girl was actually a guy. My bad. You see, I already forgot about these people because they don't mean anything to me. Now, she has clay, she has wood, fruit, so she basically has almost all the resources I have. Pottery and pastries. We have honey, however. They don't have honey, so that means they can't even make fucking pastries. Amazing. Can't even make pottery as well. How is pottery made? How's it made? I forgot what resources are required. Let me check that out. Wait, I think I got it. Yeah, I think it's made by metalware, actually. No, that's jewelry. You know what? We'll figure it out later. Actually, wait, there's a little tooltip, actually, I think. No. Is there a Bible or something that I can read? No, probably not. Okay, never mind. There is a little tooltip thing,
We're
but that
practically
doesn't give me
there.
much. Alright, interesting stuff. I might actually look into talking to Ankara for a little bit. My prosperity is getting a little bit better and better because,
Almost there.
you know, pretty much what's happening is that I'm trading with some of the people. My beer supply is making people happy. You know, the city's rich. That's good. We're going to be even richer because of Izmir.
No problem.
If I traded with Ankara, right? If I traded my beer with Ankara, Ankara would give me back resources in Holy Terra that I already have. Like, I already have lumber. I already have fruit. I already have, what was it? Grain. I think they have grain. Yeah, I think they have grain.
No problem.
No, it wasn't that. They have bricks. They have wood. They have,
It's nearby.
holy shit, can my scout not get through? Oh, no, he can. That's good. No, they have, sweet.
It's nearby.
They have wood, they have bricks, they have fruit. So pretty much a lot of my resources that
Practically there.
I have in my city would be, you know, just... Oh, shit. Oh, never mind. No, we're gonna skedaddle. I don't want to get wrecked so early on by swordsman. We're just gonna skedaddle, and then later on we'll attack that swordsman. I already tried out the swordsman versus the scout thing, and the scout got his ass kicked. Don't tell the scout that, however. So pretty much because of the fact that I have lumber, I have bricks, I have fruit, it's pretty much redundant for me to trade with Ankara. There's no point. I would get like literally nothing from it. Nothing at all. They're trying to copy me. I'm my own person. You know, you can zoom out and look at the entire map. Sorry for being a little bit scatterbrained. It's right now like 3 in the morning and I'm playing this and it's just like, why? You know, I started this game up and I was just like, oh, this is simple. I'm just going to play for like 2 hours and then I'm going to learn everything. And then I realized, oh no, that's not the case at all. You can lower production if you want to. So if you're producing something, like a lot of something, then you can slow down the production.
Let's disappear.
Obviously, I'm being very slow. And this is because I really do not want to... Oh, right, this guy's running away. I really don't want to make any stupid mistakes that people are going to yell at me
No
about.
problem.
Here, so right now, there's nothing much to do. We can zoom in as much as we want. Look at these fucking trees. Not a lot of action. Very slow. Look at these people. That fuckhead who's just yelling at all these people passing by. Going like, hey, you want my shit? Someone has the Lannister flag, but without the yellow. You know, we never checked out his
We're practically
resources.
there.
We should actually talk to these guys about trading, but trading with her is just useless. Again. Alright, I don't want to trade with her at all. It would not give
Almost
me
there.
anything. Maybe later when we have like something to trade with. I could give her honey. I could do that.
Let's get on with it.
But then again, I'm already getting so much from my trade route with Izmir. Like, I'm getting beer, I'm getting furs, they're getting lumber, they're getting fruit, they're getting wood, they're getting grain, all from this. They're getting bricks. Izmir has hardly, like, any of the same resources that I have. They only have grain, and that's it. Ankara has 3. They need to go. Now, this settlement, grain, and Vintnier, you know, place where you make fucking wine, I suppose. Coal, wool grower, and weaving. Interesting. So they have a nice setup for making shirts. That's pretty dope.
Ah, greeting.
Could trade with them. Trading with them would be nice. Albeit, how would I be able to make pastries, actually, if I have grain? I might have to delete the grain. No, I can't delete the grain. I could build a second settlement. Yeah,
No
I'll build a
problem.
second settlement, and I'll get grain from that. Can I do that right now, actually? Can I? Should I actually make the second settlement? It's not bad, but I don't have a lot of clay to utilize, so maybe we should just get some clay right now. Again, I'm waiting for my wood resources to get back to normal,
It's
however.
nearby.
Missing raw materials. I mean, that's what happens when your
No problem.
city is founded by retards, I suppose, right?
Let's get on with
See,
it.
I gotta still try and find that rare resource. It could be literally anywhere. Alright. We're gonna wait a little bit more. As you can see right now, people are flocking to the lumber yard trying to get
No problem.
those spots for the job.
It's nearby.
Let me see. Are they done? One more person. All right. So now we can go ahead and probably get the. Should I get the brickyard now? Actually, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, we don't have enough wood. Not yet, anyway.
Let's
At
get
this
on
point,
with
I think we've reached our limit. Maybe we should go west at this point. This is making me about 817 resources. You know what? Let's talk to the guy over here, and then we'll get a trade route.
Let's get on with it.
Fuck going up northeast. Northeast has nothing for me. That's only pain. Alright. Brickyard level 2. Nice. As you can see right now, not a lot of resources, and we have a good amount of beer.
Almost there.
We don't have 4 anymore. We
day.
have only 1 barrel. So let me talk
Good
to him
day.
about getting
What
a
exactly are you offering?
trade agreement.
What do you want in exchange?
About 2,000 gold. Some of these people could be a little bit shrewd.
Unfortunately, I cannot. What exactly are
Doubling
you
it.
offering? What do you want in exchange?
Could give him a commodity, but as you can see, I do not have that much to give him. I could retain the alliance, which means if you don't accept, then you know what, we're going to essentially lower our alliance standing, which is not good. That will bring me back to square one, which is not kosher. All right, how about this?
I accept your offer.
Sweet, you said to double it, and you know what? All I had to do was pay 1,000 extra smuckaroos.
No problem.
Sometimes I just paid an AI like 10,000 because I'm just lazy.
No problem.